All right, options traders, welcome to the channel and welcome to another video. Let's get this started by looking at the overall markets, then looking at some tickers. In general, the market is turning a bit sour with all this talk of taper, but keywords starting, I'm not outright bearish yet, just cautiously bearish, and I'll go over why in a bit. Starting with the Dow, you can see it's been curling down this entire week, actually broke trendline support below the 20 and 50-day moving averages, and fell below the lower edge of the expected move. On top of that, ever since the beginning of the week, there's been this sell signal, so it's not looking great. I'm looking for this to target the prior low / 200-day moving average zone down at around 33,000. Switching over to the ES, same picture, sell signal closing below the week's expected move with increasing volume on a shortened week, right? And looking at the NQ, this is kind of the only thing that's holding still above all the moving averages and closed within the expected move. So this is the only signal that has me a bit hesitant on jumping on the all-out bearish bandwagon. And here's the Russell, also closed below the week's expected move. In general, this is just trading sideways in a large range, so it's not outright bearish either, but if I had to put on a position in this, the first area I would target obviously is the bottom of this huge balance area, and I have an idea for the premium members on Sunday. Now again, I know everyone on FinTwit is screaming bearish, and that's wonderful and all, but the trick is to get in on bear plays before everyone else does, and those in the premium tier were already positioned since Thursday with downside hedges on the S&P via SPX put spreads, so Friday was a good start for us, but even beyond that, even before Thursday, we had already established bear positions across many names like Tesla, BABA, United Airlines, Boeing, Amazon, Google, Microsoft. So I'll go over these charts and show what I'm seeing. Tesla, obviously what I covered in the shorts video, this stock has just been having a hard time moving higher every time it breaks out of these prior flat top resistance levels. I know everyone's screaming bullish on Tesla, but typically when that happens, you have to be aware, like seriously, there's nothing that bullish about it. Life has just been sucked out of this stock, and every time it does break out, it just crawls. So this stock has definitely lost its explosiveness, which is why with my premium members, we keep playing this to the downside, targeting the lower end of this channel with spreads, which we get paid to put on, meaning if we're wrong, we walk away with money, and if we're right, then we make even more. And with the way this closed on Friday, I'm praying, just praying for this thing to finally come down again. Now, here's one of the interesting plays that we actually had on last Friday before the week ended. It was a bunch of put butterflies that we got for 3 cents each when we saw that Tesla had this huge options mispricing. And pretty much when the market opened on Monday, even though we were wrong on direction, we were still able to flip them out for 10 to 20x the cost. I mean, this is just what professional brewers are able to do. We spot the opportunities and we exploit them. I don't want to say it's free money because you're always taking on risk somewhere, but it was definitely high probability, and it also would have been a high payout trade if Tesla had tanked. But the point is that even though Tesla moved up initially in the week, we still got 20x back. In my opinion, that's the best way to trade. Okay, enough about Tesla. Let's look at BABA, another one I covered in the shorts. Again, I covered in last week's video that this is just a textbook bearish pattern. All this stock has done this week was fill out this triangle or this flag even more. And I love that because it just means the stock is preparing for the next move. And odds are that next move is to the downside. So once this trendline support breaks, I'm looking to target at least 147 over the next couple of weeks. That's about $20 lower. Myself and the premium brewers have spreads down there, and we've been waiting patiently for them to finally catch the pot of gold if it does move down into that area, so fingers crossed. Next up is Amazon. This is one where the premium brewers are looking to target a pullback to this prior breakout level around 33.80. If we look at the weekly, it's got a bit of a topping tail at this trendline resistance, and we do have a sell signal on the Chemic swing indicator. So if the overall market or tech in general decides to sell off next week, we're positioned to capture some profits down there. So this 33.80 level and below is the zone that I'm looking to target for next week. Google, same concept as Amazon. It's looking a bit dicey as it closed right at the 20 MA. So if tech continues to be soft next week, I'm looking for a pullback to that 50-day moving average. Again, we've got our gloves on to catch a ball if it drops to this highlighted zone, so fingers crossed. United Airlines, this is again like BABA. We've been waiting for a drop in this ticker for a while, but it's been so reluctant to drop and just keeps flagging. And it also keeps confusing this Chemic swing indicator, which isn't helpful. But in situations like this, I like to pull out and look at the entire airlines index, and that's when the signal becomes more clear. A couple days ago, we got a sell signal. So if this weakness continues to play out and we lose this trendline support, I'm looking to target the 40 to 38 zone, which is about $5 lower. And that would be amazing for the premium brewers because we have a bunch of put spreads down there that we got for 4 cents each, and they're just thirsting for expansion. My estimate is that we get to this zone by October 1st. Boeing, this we're looking to target the 200 to 185 area this coming week. It's a bit far. And the reason is that you can see here, it's lost this minor trendline support on the daily, and it's also lost its major trendline support. If we pull out to the weekly, as you can see, it's just closed below it this past week. So I'm thinking a flush to 200 is not out of the picture. Also, Boeing is a big component of the Dow, and as we saw earlier, Dow was the weakest of the bunch. So we'll see what happens with this one, and we'll be ready to take profits if that happens. Microsoft, we entered spreads on this a couple weeks back. This is actually a trade that even the basic brewers got in on, and all we're doing is targeting this 50-day moving average this coming week around 290. So again, if tech softens more, we'll be looking to take profits on that move lower. So these are all the things I'm looking at for this coming week with all their targets. Obviously, premium brewers were already positioned for these moves, and if they don't work out, that's fine. We didn't pay a lot for these spreads that we have on, and we'll always adjust those plays to get back credit in case the market decides to do a 180 and have a face rip and rally. Again, I don't think it's time to be all out bearish yet because NASDAQ is still holding on. ES still has the 50-day moving average. It's just the Dow that's a bit weaker, and Russell's still in balance. If you liked what you saw here and you want to be part of the premium crew, and if you're looking to get in on the exact trades that I alert out while learning about advanced option strategies, come check us out over at our Discord, links below. There's a free trial, so you have time to see if it's something that suits you. And if you find that you learn a thing or two, that's great. See if you want to stick around and join us on all of our plays going forward. Otherwise, there's also the basic tier where you get a subset of the alerts. They're just a bit less advanced, but you'll still learn a bit here and there. But that's it for this video. You guys have a good weekend, and I'll see you in the chat room on Monday. Cheers.